After we've seen how you can interact with your prospects or your users through search engine and social media, now it's time to diversify your engagement and to depend on different venues, not only typical ads on social media, but also you can target users with their email, SMS, push notification, WhatsApp, you name it. These type of engagement, I will commonly call them direct messaging, because you're directly interacting with the user through a message, whether it's an SMS, email, push notification, WhatsApp, and so on. But first, let's take a step back and understand why e-commerce right now have the need to diversify their engagement channel through direct messaging. Most of the e-commerce will rely solely on social media ads and search engine in order to maximize their sales. However, they leave a big room of engagement with their users, especially those who have their data. Those who have their data can be very critical in order to maximize their digital sales and the retention. However, most of the merchants face difficulty to leverage these channels effectively. If I ask you one question, who do you think is more relevant to you? Users who don't know any information about your brand, or users who've interacted with you and probably made a purchase from your brand? Yes, the answer is true. Those who have interacted with your brand before stands as more superior than those who've not come across your brand before. In fact, on average, you can spend a fraction of the advertising cost on your loyal customers or old customers and maximize the lifetime value or the return from those specific user segment. So you can see, most of the merchants are focusing on top of the funnel activities, acquiring new users, which is great, which is important. But you have to understand how to leverage mid and end of the funnel activities through communication with your already existing users. Direct messaging serves this purpose very effectively because it allows you to open a door for very personalized engagement on a one-to-one level through either SMS, WhatsApp, email, and so on. So you can control when to display the ad, what offer to provide, for which user, across which channel. Complementing this with highly trackable engagement complements your overall understanding of the direct messaging. So now you can know what works and what doesn't work, what message is actually converting and what message does not yield the desired results. Now we'll see how you can seamlessly start to engage with your users who have provided you their information, whether it's phone number, email, or they're using your mobile application through direct messaging. So if you hover and convert it in through the direct messaging module, you'll find SMS, email, and push notifications. They all have the same criteria. You specify a user who've shared some of the information about themselves, whether it's phone number, email, or both. So let's go for the SMS. SMS is a very powerful method of engaging with your users because on average, 50% of the people open the SMS, complementing this with some sort of personalization such as the name or relevant action that the user needs to take, such as, okay, now you've added this product to the cart, take a 10% discount to complete your purchase. You have a very effective method of engaging with the user. Also, SMS serves a really important feature, which is high penetration rate. In SMS, a user cannot turn off the notification for SMSs generally, unlike push notifications. So you know for a fact that the SMS will be received by the user. It's only the fact that what to display for this specific user that will determine whether it's effective or not. So SMS is a very important channel that is relatively cheap, highly received by the users, and user cannot simply turn off. Now let's see how you can run SMS campaigns through Converted In. With SMS, you can make either one-time campaign or segmented campaign or automation campaign that is based on certain triggers. Let's take, for example, one-time campaign. In one-time campaign, let's start with SMS templates. These are predefined templates for most of the use cases that an e-commerce would typically actually use. So for example, a flash sale. I would like to send all my user base a flash sale message telling them we're having a 10% flash sale discount for only 24 hours. In the campaign, you can specify the recipient of the message, those who are, for example, within a specific segment, or any of the segmentations that we've already discussed earlier. Now I'll choose all my customers, and then I'll say, okay, hey, customer name. This will automatically fetch the customer name and add it to the message, and then it will appear with your store name with the message that you specify and the call to action or the link that you inject in the message. It's very important to see that there are certain customizations that you can do to the message. Whether it's the cart link, for example, those who add to cart, I'd like to inject the cart URL so that they see the URL for their cart. Or their first name, for example. Like I would like to add the first name of the user so the message is more personalized. Once I hit this and review, I can now launch the SMS and it will be sent to all the users that I've specified in the recipients. Let's take another use case, which is highly used in the e-commerce industry. I would like to recover all the people who've added to cart a certain product, which is the abandoned cart template. So basically, I can use this template for the abandoned cart and specify the trigger for this automation. So in Converted In, the flow starts with a trigger and ends when there is a desired action that has been taken. So in the case of abandoned cart, I'd like the flow to be triggered when someone adds a product to a cart and hasn't made a purchase. And I'd like the flow to end when this user places an order. You can see that there are multiple ways of goals that you can specify for your user, whether it's to view a certain product, add a certain product to a cart, or subscribe to the SMS, or whatever the action that you'd like the user to take. So in this case, I would like the user to be enrolled in the automation flow for the abandoned cart recovery when he adds a certain product to the cart and stops when he places an order. And then I can say, okay, I'd like this event or this campaign to be triggered after the trigger has been made with 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day. You can customize it on the best practice that you see relevant for your use case. Once this happens, then you can customize the tagline or the copywriting for your message. Here, you can inject the cart URL, add a coupon dynamically, so each of the users will receive their cart URL with the products inside and a custom coupon code. After you launch this automation campaign, now you have a very effective automation flow that auto-triggers a certain SMS for a certain user with a certain product with a certain promotion. This is one of the most fundamental marketing tactics that most of the modern e-commerce use in order to make sure that you're interacting with high-intent users who've taken a certain action in your website and you can reach them through highly effective method of delivery, which is in this case an SMS. In SMS, I can go for 3 different types of messaging. One of them is bulk, which means I will send an SMS for all my user base. Second thing is segmented SMS, which means I will target those specific segments with this promotion. And third one is the automated one-to-one personalization, which means each person will receive a different message depending on an action they've taken in the website. So we've seen the automation and the bulk SMS. Now let's take an example for the segmented SMS. So when we hover into the SMS, direct messaging, SMS, create campaign, one-time campaign for a specific segment. I'll use a template and I will make a Black Friday campaign for the high spending customers. So here I can specify only people who are, for example, active customers or high spending customers or people who've made multiple orders and so on and so forth. So basically I can create a segmented message for those people and personalize my content based on this. So here I can say, okay, since you are a loyal customer to my brand, here is a special 10% code for you. Now I have leveraged some information about specific segment, and I purposely message them with a very relevant information right to them. So now the only part missing is how to track the performance of my messaging, how to know whether it's working or not. Big problem with direct messaging is the ability to track if a user, for example, clicks a link, make an order, so I can relate this purchase to this campaign. This attribution problem is very critical for merchants because sometimes you send many messages, but you don't know which is converting better. The tracking element for the direct messaging is foundational in order to optimize your marketing messages. So let's see how we can track the SMSs that we send. When we hover to the direct messaging in the SMS, we go to the SMS overview. Now you have clear understanding of how many messages that you've sent, total link clicks, total orders, total revenues, and the return on ad spent, or return on SMS spent in that case. In this case, I know, for example, the total clicks on my message is 53%, which means on average 50% of the users who open the message actually click on the link. This is very critical because if I see low click-through rate, that means my copywriting or offer is not really that convenient for the user, so I can optimize and adjust my marketing strategy accordingly. If I have high click-through rate, that means I'm on the right track and I'm sending the right message for my users. As you've seen, SMS is one of the most effective methods of interacting with the user, and it serves as one of the most superior engagement channels in some use cases, such as the abandoned cart, segmented offers, and so on. Most of the e-commerces now introduce the SMS to be one of the key pillars of engaging with the users. And with a seamless integration to your infrastructure and marketing effort, SMS will certainly serve you in some of your marketing communication with your users.